Consuming web services with URL library.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the course. Today we're going to talk in this section about programming in the web using the HTTP protocol. You learn how to make requests on the web and retrieve web resources. You will be trying here plenty of example requests. You will be using the URL library and you will be working with different forms and cookies over the web. So in this section you are basically going to gain a strong understanding about the URL library package. You understand how to use the request package as well. You learn how to handle forms using the URL library and the requests with Python 3.7, and actually we're going to use even the newest Python version, which is going to be 3.9. You learn how to handle cookies with the same packages. And finally we're going to talk about the HTTP and the HTTPS authentication methods. So let's go to our terminal and let's get started.
Now let's pull up a terminal, and here's our terminal. Let me actually make it a little bit bigger so you can see better. So here's our terminal, guys, and we're actually going to run some files in order for us to start building requests and cookies. So as I said, the first resource that we are actually going to use is the URL library. And basically the URL library allows you to access any resource that is published on the network, such as files, pictures, directories, and so on. It's a very powerful tool, and it uses the protocol HTTP in order to access these files over the web. Now, how you can import it? Let's go to Python mode. So here we're in Python mode, and you can simply import URL library. Okay, and you can see that we don't get error. So this is the way you can import it. And also, if you get error here, this means that the library is probably not installed in your computer. So you can write then pipe install URL library, and if it is not installed, it will immediately install in your computer. But as here this is a library that is pre-installed, now you can see that I'm getting an error message that I don't need to install it. So let's go to Python mode again. So when we're talking about the URL library, there are basically 4 functions that are covering this library. The first one is the request, which simply opens and reads a URL or some address over the web. Then we have the error, which contains the errors generated when you're making the request. Then we have the parse tool, or called parse, which basically converts the URL into the readable information for you. And finally we have the reboot parse, which basically converts the reboot txt files. And as a matter of fact, if you go to this website docs.python.org, and if you search for the URL library.request, you can find all the documentation for the URL library.request and actually find all the functions related to it. So once we complete this section, if you want to use some additional functions, this is a great place to go and see what each function is doing and simply use it for your needs. This here is the URL of the library, so you can simply type it in your browser and you will gain access to it. For example, if I search here for URL open, we're getting here the URL open function, and you can read the documentation for it. So here this function URL open is simply creating a file similar to a text file that is extracted from a URL. So what the system does when you use this command here, it basically converts or reads the URL and converts it to a file. And this object has many different methods such as read, readline, read lines, close, and so on. Once you create the file, you can basically manipulate it in a way you like. For example, let's write here. So now we're in a Python mode, and let me show you how we go there. So let's write Python, and once we're typing Python code, you can simply write from URL library dot request, so request import URL open. Okay, so now we imported the URL open option from the URL library.request, and then if I write a response, so this is going to be a variable, so response equal to URL open. Okay, and let's type some example address on the web that we would like to explore. For example, let's add one of the most famous websites, youtube.com. so if I do http://www.youtube.com, okay, and if I run that, okay, we're getting an error here. Let's see where it is. Yes, here I misspelled the URL open, so let me fix that. And now you can see that we're not getting an error, but we also don't display anything because we need to call the variable that we just created, which is called response. So if I write response here, you can see that we already got the http.client http response, and we have the address of the object. So this means that we already passed the data from YouTube to that object. And if I write, for example, now response dot read line, you can see that we can perfectly read the data that we received from YouTube. So by read line, you know, we usually receive an HTML file once we get the youtube.com, and this HTML file goes to the response object. So here, by writing read line, we simply get the header of this HTML file. Okay, I mean, the way that this file is written here is not very understandable because it's just written on the same line, but if you put it in the correct HTML converter, you see it very well with the different indentation levels. But we are not going to do this right now because we have way more important jobs to do. So if I write now print and then URL library dot request dot URL open, and after that, if I write again YouTube, actually http youtube.com, and then timeout equals 30, let's run it and see if we're gonna get any error. So here we get error with the URL defined, so I will import it. So import URL library, okay, and then I will run the command once again. So you can see that here we simply return the HTTP response interface, and actually this response gives us the data from the request that we made from the resource on the web, in that case youtube.com. Also, we can use a JSON format in order to do that. For example, if I import JSON, okay, and I do response equals URL library dot request dot URL open, and then URL comma timeout equals 30. Actually, let's put instead of URL http then youtube.com, so we have exact URL here. Okay, and after that I can simply do JSON underscore response equals JSON dot loads response dot read. Okay, so this is another way to do it. and we actually got an error here, so let's try to fix it. Everything seems correct. Maybe just the website that we were using didn't have the right data in order to use the JSON on it. So let's skip this step for now because I want to show you something way more interesting. And this is specifically the status codes. So usually the HTTP provides us with a way to see the status of the response of the request we are making. For example, if I see a status of 100, this would mean that the response is informational. Okay. For example, if you see code of 200, this means success, which means that the command is executed correctly. For example, if we see code 300, this means redirection. If we see code 400, this means client error. And if we see 500, this usually means server error. Okay, so these are all the codes that we could see, and let's try to do one operation, or actually check what is the code of our response file. So if I do Python and I do resource dot status, okay, let's redefine the resource once again. So let me import once again the URL library, and I will also import the URL open so I can recreate what we already had. So let's run this. Actually, here I write YouTube. Let's run it, and now we can simply do response dot status, and we will get that the status is 200, which means that we successfully collected the data from our data source, which is quite good. And this is the way that you can check if you get the right data, because code 200, as you remember, means that we have a success in collecting the data. This was the last thing I want to share with you for today, guys, but we have more yet to cover in this section. So thank you very much for watching that video, and I will see you in the next one, where we're going to cover how to handle exception using URL libraries in the network programming. Thanks for watching.